Hi, this is Trevor Kemp. This is the Module 5 uh, Organizational Relationships project. Um, in my school, it's kind of it is a small school, so it's pretty interrelated. As you can see here, where I have a lot of lines going kind of back and forth it's definitely a system of functional organization structure where they follow under different people in a hierarchy system where we start at the top of our board of education. But there's just lot of networking between at a small district that everyone kind of has to work together. So starting at the top of our leaders at the school is our board of education that's publicly elected on district. Tied in with them, I would put in our public input committees, which is created by our board of education of other community members, stuff like that, to advise the board on different things like bond issues, things like that. They kind of tie into our board of education. Underneath our board of education would be our superintendent and our board clerk that our board looks over, checking the financials by the board clerk, and then getting updates from the superintendent to see how the school is flowing, uh, things like that. Board clerk and superintendent also work together really tightly. So, with the superintendent, their ideas, the board clerk makes sure it's feasible based on our school budget too. Underneath our super is our principal. At our small school, we only have one principal. There's no assistant principal, anything like that. He looks over directly our teachers, kind of our secretary, and then our director of transportation maintenance and our activities director. Um, he does different disciplinary things as needed with students, and meets with us weekly and gets input from teachers to help make the school run smoothly. Underneath him, first one I have here is special education teacher, which is tied in with our teachers. I have it labeled different because it's actually hired by our interlocal. It's our special education teacher is given by our county to help out our district, um, and they look over our special education program. Um, Underneath our special education teachers are paraprofessionals, which get guidance, get their schedule set up by our special education teacher, and also get guidance from our teachers. So it's interwoven there. They get guidance from both our core teachers and our special education teacher. Next, our secretary. Our secretary has the duties of inputting all of our student schedules, making sure we get subs whenever teachers are gone, making sure people get notified of who's going to be gone, if it's for excused reasons or unexcused reasons, things like that. So it's a very important role. We only have one that kind of takes on a big role there. Um, so our principal kind of helps guide them through that process. They also look over all of our school organization budgets and keeps track of that. Next in line is our director of transportation or maintenance. We only have one that is doing both of those duties. So they do make sure we get all our transportation for normal bus routes, all our school activities, things like that. Also looks over the maintenance of our whole school inside and outside. So all of our athletics facilities, classrooms, making sure our heat and air are working properly, our floors, the whole facility is clean and mowed. Last one I put as activities director. It gets looked over by the principal. Activities director looks over our coaches and sponsors, look over our sports teams and student organizations. Our activities director helps allocate money to our different activities, helps set up events, It's like chalking fields, painting fields, making sure we have workers at our events, putting in referees, things like that. I have them tied into our director of transportation maintenance because they have to, before they can schedule events for coaches or sponsors, make sure that we have transportation. They have to check with our director of transportation. They also have to make sure that we have someone in our maintenance department there after events to clean up after events so our school is ready for the next day. So the director of transportation maintenance has to kind of overlook what our activities director is doing. As I said, our coaches and sponsors, I have it interlinked to our secretary because our secretary makes sure we get subs and things like that. So whenever we put into our APTA fund, which is where we get our paychecks and also where we put in our leave for things like that, our secretary is on there that we have to get approval from to make sure that we can be gone for our different sporting events or math relays or theater conference, things like that, that we have a sub for us that we are able to go. So getting the okay from activities director and also our secretary to make sure we have um, adequate subs. Our teachers are next, underneath directly our principal, but also is getting assistance from secretary and our director of transportation maintenance. That way, if you have any professional leave that you have to get a vehicle, director of transportation maintenance need to know that. They also need to know what's going on in the classroom to see if anything needs fixed up, anything like that. And then again, for just our teachers, sick leave, if it's morning of course, you can't really check in. But if you want to take a vacation day, you have to check in with the secretary, make sure that we have adequate subs for that day um, so that they can take off. The last one I have here is underneath our director of transportation maintenance is our custodial staff and drivers. He directly looks over them to make sure that we have custodial staff during the hours of the day that we need it, and we have drivers for all of our routes and activities if possible. And then the last one here is our sports teams and student organizations, looked over by coach and sponsors. Just keep them in line, provide them guidance as they're going through with their activities. As I kind of said, this hierarchy system, which means we have our top tier, our higher level people, going from the top down to lower level positions, lower level people. And it's kind of just straight hierarchy, but it's also a little bit functional. We have our interlocal leading to our special ed teacher. We have activities into our activities area, transportation maintenance in our area. But it's all kind of a network that it all interrelates with each other. So it's a mix of a lot of different organization systems. Thank you.